What's up, everybody? Paul Hickey here with NoOffSeason.com. Welcome to a new show here on the Sports Card Strategy feed. This is our weekly baseball card market update coming to you every Monday here on the NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Network. Brought to you, of course, by NoOffSeason.com, the number one place to get all the information you need to make money flipping sports cards. Get a free 30-day trial today at NoOffSeason.com. Let's dive into the baseball card market data. First up, we're going to look at cards in the last 14 days with the most sales volume across all baseball cards. The first card on that list is Elly De La Cruz 2024 Topps card 141 base. This is raw. It sold 714 times over the last 14 days. Note on Elly De La Cruz, he was called up to the major leagues in July 2023. Last season, he had 13 home runs, 44 RBIs, 35 stolen bases in 388 at-bats in 98 games. His batting average was .235. So far in 2024, he's 3 for 11 with a walk and a triple in the first week of the MLB season. The Reds are 2-1. The next card, Wyatt Langford's 2023 Bowman Draft base first raw, sold 307 times in the last 14 days for an average of $6.11. In the third spot is also Wyatt Langford, the chrome version of the card I just told you about. Sold 260 times in the last 14 days for an average of just under $24 per sale. Number 4 on the list is also Elly De La Cruz. His 2024 Topps Stars of the MLB raw card sold 247 times over the last 14 days for an average of $2 per card. Number 5 is Wyatt Langford's teammate, Evan Carter. His 2024 Topps base raw sold 181 times over the last 14 days for an average of $2.87. Next up is Jackson Chourio. His 2022 Bowman Chrome Prospects First in PSA 10. This is the first graded card on this list. Pop just under 5,000, sold 175 times over the last 14 days for an average of just under $41. And Jason Dominguez's 2024 Topps base raw sold 158 times in the last 14 days for an average of just over $2. A lot of great action here in the top 20. Other notables: Spencer Jones, 2023 Bowman Chrome Prospects First raw, continues to be hot. It sold 137 times over the last 14 days, although it is down 38% from an average sale of $6 to an average sale of just under $4. Wyatt Langford's Chrome Refractor raw sold for, this is his 2023 Bowman Draft First, by the way, sold 132 times over the last 14 days for an average price of $54.06. It is down 12%. And then we got Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. A couple of his cards have sold 131 times. His base Donruss 1989 raw continues to sell huge. That's $5.50 on average. Interesting that card continues to sell raw. Another card that continues to sell raw, 127 sales over the last 14 days for his 1989 Upper Deck base raw. The average sale of that card is just under $44. That card is always hot. Derek Jeter's 1993 Topps base raw sold 109 times over the last 14 days for just under $10 on average. And Ken Griffey Jr.'s 1989 Fleer base raw sold 108 times over the last 14 days for just under $7. All right, let's move over to the most volume by graded cards over the last 14 days. So we're looking at number one. We already called this card out. Jackson Churio's 2022 Bowman Chrome Prospect, first in PSA 10, pop just under 5,000, is the number one graded card by sales volume over the last 14 days. 175 sales, as I mentioned before. Average sale of just under $47. The last sale was just under $41. It is down about 16%. Jackson Churio is the Brewers' top prospect and still number 2 overall on MLB.com's top 100. He's already contributing, helping lead the Brewers to a 3-0 record, batting .417. That's 5 for 12 with 2 RBIs and a stolen base in his first 3 pro games. He's second, guys, across top sports books in NL Rookie of the Year odds, behind Dodgers pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So keep an eye on Jackson Churio as the season goes on. Wyatt Langford in the number 2 and number 3 spots. His 2023 Bowman Draft Chrome first in PSA 10 sold 111 times for an average sale price of just under $99. Last sale of $93. That's slightly down, just under 5%. But the refractor version of that card is up 0.5% over the last 14 days. It sold almost as many times, 102 times, for an average sale price of $171. That should remain a hot card in Pop 860 for the remainder of the MLB season. More on Wyatt Langford in a minute. Ellie De La Cruz, 2022 Bowman Chrome first prospect in PSA 10, Pop 9,500, sold 100 times in the last 14 days for an average sale price of just under $50. And Shohei Ohtani, 2018 Topps Chrome base pitching, despite the controversy, continues to sell at a high volume, 91 times in PSA 10 over the last 14 days, an average sale price of $183. That is down about 19%. However, Langford, Ohtani remain hot names on this list. Jackson Holiday and Juan Soto are hot names on this list. Ken Griffey Jr. in PSA 9, the 1989 Upper Deck, is hot on this list. Let's move on to the overall biggest baseball card sales over the last 14 days. This is switching it up a bit, guys, because these are old school guys right here. Old school guys. Ty Cobb in SGC 2.5, his 1909 T206 red portrait in SGC 2.5 sold last week for $432,000. Now, these are one-off sales. Babe Ruth, 1933 Gaudy, card 144 in PSA 8. This is a Pop 31, sold for $240,000. Mickey Mantle, 1952 Topps 311 base. We all know this card. Sold in PSA 6 on March 24th for $204,000. We must have had big auctions ending on that March 24th date a week ago, because Ty Cobb, Nolan Ryan, Lou Gehrig, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle all had other huge cards sell on that same day. Notable, Nolan Ryan's 1969 Topps 533 base in PSA 10 sold for $180,000. Willie Mays, 1952 Topps 261 base in PSA 8, Pop 60, sold a week ago for $117,000. Notable off this list is, of the top 20, 7 are Mickey Mantle cards, 3 are Jackie Robinson cards, 2 are Ty Cobb cards, and there's only 1 current MLB player on this top 20, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s 2017 Bowman Chrome Prospect Auto Red Refractor out of 5, his first out of 5 red in BGS 9.5, sold for $66,000. These are the top sales in the last 14 days. That one sold on March 21st, 2024. Big sale. All right, let's move on to the top sales prices overall, graded or non-graded, with more than 5 sales in the last 14 days. So these have to have more than 5 sales. And at the top of this list is Cal Ripken Jr.'s 1982 Topps Traded 98T base PSA 10. This is a Pop 411. It actually sold 5 times in the last 14 days. Could be a great time to list those Hall of Fame players, right? Because this was up 46.2%. And it sold on March 31st for $9,000. Average sale price, $7.27K over the last 14 days, sold 5 times. Sandy Koufax, 1955, Topps 123, base in PSA 6, Pop 1430, also sold 5 times for an average sale price of $2,860. The last sale, $2,900. Mickey Mantle, 1953, Topps 1982, base PSA 2, sold 8 times over the last 14 days for an average sale price of just under $2,700. Last sale, $2.52K. And rounding out the top 4, Carl Yastrzemski, 1960, Topps 141, base PSA 8, Pop 588, sold 6 times for an average of $2,240. Rounding out the top 5, Ken Griffey Jr., 1989, Upper Deck base PSA 10. We all know this card. Pop 4127, sold 7 times over the last 14 days for an average of $1,940. Last sale, $1,970. We don't get to a current MLB player on this list until Shohei Ohtani. His 2017 Bowman Megabox Chrome Prospect in PSA 10 sold 14 times over the last 14 days. Ohtani still selling well, but down 17.8% on this card. Average sale price, $1,400. Last sale, $1.32K. We've also got Mike Trout, 2011 Topps Update base PSA 10, sold 14 times for an average sale price of $1,040. Last sale, $980. And notable, Wyatt Langford, AL Rookie of the Year favorite across top sports books. The Rangers started 2-1 last week. He's 4 for 12 in his first 3 games with 3 RBIs. That's a .333 batting average, folks. His 2023 Bowman Draft Chrome Auto first in PSA 10, which is a Pop 287, sold 25 times for an average sale price of $965. Last sale, $977. That is up 15% over the last 14 days. All right, guys, now what we're doing is we're looking at the top risers from 2012 through present with 10 or more sales in the last 14 days, graded only. I think this gives you a look at some very relevant cards in the last 14 days. Louis Robert Jr.'s 2020 Topps 392 base in PSA 9. This is a Pop 18,085 card. Is up the most. It is the top riser in this category, 2012 through present. 10 or more sales in the last 14 days. Louis Robert, 2020 Topps 392 base PSA 9 is up 779%. The last sale of that card was $17.50, up from $1.99. 13 sales, though, averaging out at $5.42 per sale. Kyle Lewis in at number 2, 2020 Topps base 65, PSA 10, Pop 15,377, sold 24 times in the last 14 days for an average of $4 and a penny. but it is up 111% from $2.18 to $4.61. In at the number 3 spot, Bobby Witt Jr., 2020 Bowman Chrome Prospects first in PSA 9, pop 52.89. 14 sales of this card in the last 14 days. It is up 93.5%. Last sale, $29.99, up from $15.50. He started 6 of 11 at the plate with a dinger, a triple, and an RBI, and the Royals started 1 and 2. Rounding out the list here, Jared Kelenic, his 2018 Bowman Draft Chrome first. PSA 10 popped 26.18, sold 14 times in the last 14 days, up 91.4%. Last sale, $30.15, up from a sale of $15.75 14 days ago. The average sale on that card is up to $23.89. Jared Kelenic, former first overall pick in the MLB draft, now of the Atlanta Braves. Rounding out the top 5, Gunnar Henderson, 2023 Topps Chrome, Topps in Technicolor in PSA 10, pop 231, sold 14 times in the last 14 days. Last sale, $37.14, up 82.9%. The average sale is still close to that at $30.85. Starting price, $20.30. Looks like a very legit rise there. We'll call out a couple more guys. You know their names. Juan Soto, his 2018 Topps Update rookie debut in PSA 9, popped 21.81, sold 10 times over the last 14 days. It is up 67.7%. Last sale, $26. Starting price, $15.50. And Shohei Ohtani, his 2018 Topps opening day number 200 base, popped 15.53 in PSA 10, sold 18 times in the last 14 days. It is up 61.1%. Last sale, $103. Starting price, $64.04. There you have it, folks. Not all Shohei Ohtani cards are down right now, despite the controversy. I'm going to leave you with a really cool hobby stat of the week here. It is interesting that the top 12 graded baseball cards by sales volume are all PSA 10s. This is across all grading companies, everybody. In fact, out of the top 20 graded cards by sales volume, only 3 are not PSA 10s, but they're all PSA graded. Number 13, Ken Griffey Jr., 1989 Upper Deck PSA 9 is a pop 31,000 card. Number 16 in the top 20, the same card in PSA 8 is a pop 41,000 card. And number 19 on that list, Shohei Ohtani, 2018 Bowman Base 49, pop PSA 9, pop 11,000. So those are the only 3 non-PSA 10s in the top 20 graded cards by sales volume in the last 14 days. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us on the weekly baseball card market update. Don't forget to like this at youtube.com/Paul Hickey. Comment, share, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app, and stay tuned for our Monday and Wednesday Sports Card Strategy Show full episodes. And of course, Friday's premium podcast at nooffseason.com. Guys, stop making dumb mistakes in the hobby. Take Sports Card School now. Sports Card School is a safe place for noobs, advanced flippers, and high rollers alike to learn how to navigate the hobby and ultimately build a collection that increases in value. Go to sportscardschool.com and get a free 30-day trial at nooffseason.com today to start learning our guidelines, strategies, and plays to help you make money flipping sports cards to fund your PC and other things in your life.